Hoorah. All right. And we're live. Post that. All right. Post that on the Discord. And yeah. All right. So this time we were. Oh my God. How did I get all the way up here? Oop. So last time we were supposed to. There we go. We were supposed to cover the. Oh, this time we're supposed to cover the dead, the heroes, and the chthonic gods, sections 1 and 2. And in the PDF, we're looking at page 270. So, with everything going on, I've given up on keeping up. And we're just going to read this one on stream since I know that we're not going to be super busy today. Now, per the usual Victoria, I am imbibing or whatever. Smoking. Not tobacco. But I do want to make sure that we put out same. We do it every time. If you're underage, if it's illegal in your area, or I think that's pretty much it. Don't do drugs, kids. Wait till you're an adult, and it's legal. Don't drink or smoke or do anything that's illegal in your area. We don't want anyone to get in trouble or get hurt. So that's it. That's my disclaimer. That was a terrible disclaimer. I have my fancy new Star Wars thing to smoke with. And we're gonna go through and we're gonna read the section here. So woo. Alright. Let me get a drink so it doesn't. I think you guys can hear the music. Have I been muted this entire time? I think so. I'm gonna restart. I only did a little bit. Burials which presuppose funerary rituals are among the earliest evidences of human culture. They also constitute one of the most early. Oh my gosh. They also constitute one of the most important complexes of material for prehistoric and indeed even for classical archaeology. For whatever is deliberately buried underground is most likely to survive undisturbed across the millennia. Thus, grave archaeology has long since developed into a highly specialized and complex study. As against that, an account of Greek religion must restrict itself to relatively rough outlines. Moreover, the excavation finds must be considered along with the literary evidence of the antiquarians and poets, and once again, Homer, who assumes a special importance. And this is really important to note because early on, when we started reading this book, B, the Hellenist witch, I think she changed her name, I'm not sure, noted, because B is getting her master's I forgot, but has studied a lot of the texts and has access to academic texts, and has told us that obviously this book is a little old, it's a little outdated, and we have found way more information. Hail Sinwin, sup? That's okay, I just started and I had so many tech issues. I fucked up OBS so bad. I have no idea how to fix it, and it's gonna take me some time. So we're using Restream. And so I was late, like 20 minutes, and then I had to set all this stuff up, which I haven't set up this in a while. So we should use the Restream more. I can have guests on here. Oh, I should put a note: accepting guest stars commentary. So I wonder if I can put that in here. Where's a notepad? Here. We're gonna put that on. So if people want pop on, I want to say something, maybe. Can we make the text bigger? Font. There we go. Try it. There we go. There we are. Accepting guests. That's funny. All right. So we're just reading it this time. So one of the things I was just pointing out was that, like, we have new information. Burial. Oh my god, my desk is a mess, you guys. Burial archaeology is like a special field. So let's see here. Burial customs and beliefs about the dead have always gone hand in hand, one influencing the other. But as special studies show, there is no strict. Hi, Firebird. What's up? I just saw you join the server. Welcome. We're doing Greek Religion by Walter Burkert. There we go. I'm actually going to shrink this so that we can see that. And cover all of my shame. There we go. But as studies show, I saw it popped up on my screen. I should not have that happening. Hold on. Let me put my profile to away. So do not disturb. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're talking about the customs of the burial, and I think a lot of people are interested in this. So there's no strict correlation between the two. The ideas are often vague and particularly diverse and contradictory. The understandable awe which inhibits speaking or even thinking about death means that certain manners of speech are observed without the importance of the words ever being made explicit. And even more, I love when the text goes weird like this. Do you guys see that? It messes me up so bad. Even. So also let me know in the chat, since we have a couple of you guys in the chat, let me know how your path, and name your path, please, because I'm not going to remember. how your path of your beliefs has affected how you feel about death. I know, I just think it's funny and fun. It's a good question. And even more, the customs prevailing in local and family tradition are performed in unquestioning conformity. Oh my god, this is so important. Can I just for 30 seconds? Okay. So I'm Armenian. I'm a pale ass bitch. And there were a lot of like weird customs. Not weird. There are a lot of customs that we do. I think a lot of cultures have certain customs that do, obviously. But so we have we had to cover the mirrors. That's a really common one, covering the mirrors. We also, so there, no one can enter the room of the dead. Like, I don't know if it's the room of the dead or room where they died. I'm not sure. But it's the room of the dead. Sorry, I was there when she died, and I just had a little bitty flashback. For 35? I think it's 35 days. I don't know why it's 35, but it is. I should ask this. I'll find out. I'll tell you guys next stream, okay? But this is hard. Wow, okay. Yeah, no one can enter the room for 35 days, so that was like a weird thing. The other thing was that we had to wear black for 7 days. So I had to wear black. I almost ran out. I like kind of ran out of clothes. I had to do laundry, but I had like just enough. And then my dad, oh my god, he's not doing it. He's supposed to wear black for like longer. And then I think there's a 30-day mark event, and there is I think there's another one. I can't remember. This is my first funeral. Like, one that I've actually not just shown up, followed my parents, and not given a shit. Like, this is the first funeral as like an adult, and it's really interesting being part of it, as little as I am part of it, and seeing the different customs. So if you have a specific custom in your family or in your, culture, let me know in the chat. Just one. Also, I will say, I haven't been to the funeral yet. I've been to one viewing for my grandma, and it is hard. I'll tell you guys how the funeral goes. But what was I gonna say? Since I was there, I carry drachma in my wallet at all times. It's just there. In fact, I have to put a new one in. And I went downstairs and got my drachma, and I went upstairs to my dad that night. And I gave him my drachma. And because my grandma always supported Hellenic Herald and my religion. Once she kind of understood, she would forget, but when she understood it, she was really excited. She loved the play that we did, the Bake. She was actively watching with my little brother some of the streams in the beginning, and she always asks about the, I call this church, and so she always asks, she's like, "How's the church? Did you do a video today?" And so I gave my dad the drachma, and I was like, "Look, I know it's not her religion, but she really liked it, and I would like for her to take this with her." And he took it, and he opened the room, and I watched him put it in her hand. And that was, in my opinion, one of the most amazing, respectful, conflicting beliefs. And frankly, my grandma would have taken the money anyway. Okay, let me read you guys this stuff. Sinwin. Oh, I think I can show the comments. Ta-da! Oh, why can't I? Forgot I could do that. That's one shining off. So I had a long history of fearing my own death, but my spiritual vibe was on me. Awesome! Yes, we are in a collective narrative. We are all fucking connected. Why do so many people forget that? It was a little Bernie. I used to miss the idea of legacy, but now I connect with it. So do you mean like your legacy? or like the legacy we all leave behind on the planet. Like, because I want to leave a I don't necessarily want to go in history books, but I want to leave like a legacy, like an empire. Makes it sound weird. Okay. I understand that it's hard. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was there. Like, when I left, my twin brother was on the phone with the 911 and was about to do chest compressions. It was not gonna do anything at that point. I mean, look, I'm gonna end this with bitch turned 100 before she died. She's fine. I'm fine. I'm just sad. So I also spent a lot of time with her. I visited her once a week. I talked to her every night. So like, I totally feel you, Sidwin. Okay. Ritual and belief. Back to the thing. Ritual and belief are almost exclusively with the death. Ritual and belief are concerned almost exclusively with the death of others. One's own death remains in the dark. I'm gonna play. By the way, I highly suggest everyone do this. This is very important. It's extremely important both for yourself, so you get what you want, and for your loved ones to make their lives easier. Plan what you want. Plan your shit. So that our own deaths do not remain, and the rituals and beliefs around our own deaths do not, or that are done after we die, do not remain in the dark, right? So, record keeping, best thing we ever invented, or writing. So I want to highlight this. I don't understand this manner of speech thing, but I kind of do. So I'm gonna copy this in here. Is there the name of this section? Oh, there is. I should put this in here. Hold on. So you guys are at me for like, very rarely I put this up, but today I am, because this is the actual notes. We have these in the Discord. You can access them. And I think there's only viewing access unless I give you access. I'm not sure. Either way, there's a copy of it, so no one can fuck with it. Boom! And you can access the copy of the book and the notes through the Discord, so join us, or just use it for your own education. Use our notes as like your own study notes. Right? Okay. Aside from the question of the historical influences and superpositions, yep, interpretations of this complex of customs and beliefs may be directed at psychological motivation or social function. Totally makes sense, right? The funeral is for the people left behind, not the person. Although I think it can be both. Cinnamon. Hey, so I can recognize the emotional bubbling up. Aw, thanks, Sinwin. I think I know who you are in the Discord. Pretty sure. But thank you. It's very sweet. Yeah, it's just, do you guys want to see something she made for me? Hold on. Firebird, by the way, I will answer your question like a second. This is actually very, very much of a good idea. Hold on. Because we're talking about death and burial rites, and boom. My grandma knitted this for me. The entire thing. And it's got all these little ridges and stuff, so I feel like it's a good way to honor grandma. All right. So you have a note about Hellenic polytheism on your Discord. Yes, it's a Hellenic polytheistic Discord. We're pagan or a polytheist. We have lots of people from different paths. I identify as like pagan, polytheist, Hellenist, maybe like a little witchy. Working on that, but that's like a Hecate thing, so still like Hellenic. So what Hellenic means is that It is a wonderful gift. I love it. It's actually really soft. I've never actually really worn it before. I don't know why. Maybe because I live in California and she knitted me a sweater. Jacket. But anyway, so right now we are reading the book Greek Religion by Walter Burkert. We would consider this one of the educational texts. We have a lot of information. Yes. Thank you. I'm just gonna show that on the chat because it is really sweet. So thank you. Firebird, are you pagan or polytheist or Hellenic? And we do welcome everyone of all paths, so long as there is no don't tell people that their religion is bullshit and they should join yours, whatever the fuck that's called. I can hear cinnamon. But yeah, that's so if you are interested or just even interested just within Greek religion or how Hellenists were, I can't talk today. We also have channels for other paths. Basically people ask for the path and then we have a few people who volunteer. What is that supposed to be? I can't. Oh, because I know you're smart and you know the word. I can hear you being like, Victoria, this is the word. You say it all the time. I don't say it all the time because I know that I can't fucking say it actually. Proselytizing? It has many consonants. So, yeah, let me know if that makes sense to you, Firebird. And if you have any follow-up questions. Oh, here you are. Yeah, atheists or people who aren't religious or people who are just spiritual are very welcome in the server. And frankly, I think it's a great idea. If you're interested, especially because we do a lot of history. Proselytize. There it is. Thank you. No. I meant like that's the word. I just couldn't remember. I don't know. Yeah, so you're welcome on the server, absolutely. And there's lots of information, historical information. We also do streaming games, usually Minecraft on the weekend. We have a server that is at this juncture primarily Hellenists, but we've actually have someone I think who started Egyptian or something like that. So every path is welcome, every path is celebrated, even no path, because we also do weekly intentions when Victoria remembers to do them. That's me. I'm Victoria. The Delphic Maxims. I'm really big on Stoicism. So we have a lot of cool channels feeding into like our community channel. So all pagans are welcome to add their squirreliness to the pantheon. That's right. So yeah, that's kind of it. So welcome. And we also have things for divination and just, food, because I love food, and a lot of other general channels in a really great, very calm, chill vibe community. I'm actually really proud of the community that has upkept the chill vibe. Anyway, back to the actual thing that we're supposed to be talking about, which is the book club, and the book. This is about 30% of all of our streams. In the reactions to the loss of a generally older partner or family member, the psychologist detects a sharp ambivalence of emotion. Oh, ambivalence, I know that word. That's like not a lot, right? Of emotion. Stairs. I know. Between furious pain and relief, triumph and bad conscience. I will say that in my personal experience, I am relieved. I wish my grandma had lived like one more month, but like I am relieved for her because I saw her decline and she was upset about it. Yeah, no worries. Spiritual, but not religious. Little hearts. I don't know why. Yeah, I think it's super cool. So like the Greek pantheon and shit. A lot of information. Check the resources channels. It will take a little time to get you approved just because we're like not on all the time. We have lives. I do think sometimes it can be a relief. I think that's a really good, yeah, totes. Stick around, chat a little bit, give commentary on what I'm reading, or ask questions. The real release and enrichment of the air is concealed beneath the demonstrative mourning, honoring of the dead person, and posthumous obedience. Disorientation and depression are overcome by festive eating and prestige bringing sport contests. That's what I want. Everyone's bringing this one pastry. We had 4 trays one day, and they were like big trays. And I was like, can someone bring like a casserole or a salad? Because we have a lot of pastry. No worries. You can always re-watch the stream on our Twitch or on YouTube. It's put on both places at once. So, and comment and like and all that stuff. Follow. Really does help support the channel. I can see it on the back end. We get more stuff open at certain tiers. So, I think this is brilliant. I think these are really important to think about in regards to a lost loved one. I think I'm gonna copy because I want to type out later maybe samples of social function or things like that. Ooh, going around this. Oh, there's a whole thing on that. Short version. I didn't jive with Christianity. Me and God kind of broke up. There was a conversation. Everything was chill. That was my family, and it just didn't vibe. And like, I was always super drawn to like the Greek pantheon and stuff. I know I watched Xena and Hercules as a kid, like everyone else. Okay. But I had a real interest in it, and then I tried some druid groups and pagan groups, and I still was like, close but no cigar. And then my partner was like, hey, why don't you see if like Greek is like a thing? And I was like, no, it's not. And then I found out, oh shit, it is. So here we are, and you can like kind of see. I don't know if you can. I can't see my own image very well. Oh, you can't see it. There's some altars. You guys can't see my makeup because it's so tiny. Gross. But yeah, and then I was like, I saw the word Hellenism. So this is my favorite part of the story. I can't believe I left it out. When I saw that it was a thing and I was reading about it and I saw the word Hellenism, I said, I think either Hellenism or Hellenist out loud. And this like wave of like, the only thing I can define it as is like this feeling of home. I was home. And I honestly am looking forward to going home when I die. Because if that was what it felt like on this physical, on Earth, I can't wait to possibly meet the gods and really, as we're talking about death, I swear to God, I'm not suicidal. I'm safe. It's fine. But, in relation to the object of death, it really did. And the way that we treat death that I know of, because there's always more to learn, as we're going to learn today. It gave me a sense of peace, truly. Because I was like, okay, like this again, because that feeling of home, and I was like, I'm not afraid. I'm looking forward to possibly meeting or even being in the same house as a god, in the same realm. Like that is amazing. And that's for every faith, I think. But the one, of course, this feels like home to me. So, of course. So anyway, as we're talking about death, and funeral rites, let's see. Okay. So, we're going to keep reading about this. And if you have any questions about anything that we're reading or have commentary, all is welcome. This is book club and everyone can discuss. I see we got a few more people. So we're covering Greek religion by Walter Burkert. Good night, Firebird. Okay. So at the same time, a social function of funerary customs becomes apparent, for indeed as a whole, they are concerned with asserting, For indeed, as a whole, they are concerned with asserting tradition across generations and in particular strengthening family solidarity. Oh, that's wonderful. I literally got goosebumps. That's so sweet. Like using the loss of a loved one to bring your family more together. That's so sweet. My family sucks. So they are concerned. I love that. That is a great, and I think that's a key part of Hellenism is the fact that we're like, or how do I explain this? We view it as like a celebration of their life, right? And in sporting contests and feasts, and I think that's a great way, and that vibes a lot with every other thing I've in my both in historical fact, in shared personal practice, and in my solitary practice. That's one of the things that I really like about Hellenism and the gods. So to recognize the claims of the dead person is to affirm the identity of the group, to accept its rules, and hence assure its continuance. I love that. In Greek burial practice, the break with the Mycenaean world after 1200, I assume that's BC. BC? Whatever. I wish they would put those in there. Is marked by the spread of single burial and cremation. See, I was just thinking the other day I should probably want to be cremated. Admittedly, in some sorry, when people die, you start thinking about your own death, right? So, admittedly, in some places, existing vaulted and chamber tombs continue to be used. On Crete and Cyprus, the chamber tomb persists as the normal form, and it is even introduced on Rhodes. But single burial, nevertheless, comes to be a general rule, either in form of a pit lined with stone slabs, common, with the stone cis tomb, or in the form of a simple pit in the ground. In the case of cremations, the urn is buried likewise. Oh, that's interesting. The urn is buried. A lot of people keep the urn. So I know my mother wants to be cremated, and she wants some of her ashes to be available for us. So that's interesting that the burn is buried, and I wonder as we continue going, we'll find out if anything else was done with the ashes. The burning of the corpse, which is sadly not publicly allowed, is the most spectacular change from the Mycenaean age. Oh, interesting. In the Bronze Age, Greece, this custom is particularly unknown. Ooh. Though certainly was practiced by the Hittite kings and also in Troy, 6 and 7. I'm bad with those things. It appears in the 12th century in Attica in the Parati Cemetery. So interesting. So this is where before where cremation wasn't popular. So that's interesting. That's an important fact. Knowing the line between the different ages and the different traditions that were that changed over time and as the religion spread. And of course, we also know that a lot of Hellenism customs, festivals, etc., were done locally and changed depending on where you live or maybe where it's celebrated. And that was also revolving around, of course, the area, whether fishing or farming, and the deity that they worshipped in regards to that. So it makes total sense that some places, and during some times that these things wouldn't be known or wouldn't have been done. So this is important. We'll stop at the next sentence, which I haven't read yet, but let's put in how people were buried. How? But my keyboard's under my table, so it's hard. Boop. Okay. It appears in the 12th century in Attica in the Parati Cemetery. In Homeric epic, this is the only burial form acknowledged. So just regular, I think we're just talking about regular burial form, not the being burned, not cremation, I think. We might have gone back to it without me realizing. This is the only burial form acknowledged, but in fact, nowhere did it establish itself exclusively. The cemetery most thoroughly investigated is the principal cemetery for Athens, the Karamikos, the Karamiko. I'm trying. I think I'm getting better. Outside the Dipton, I don't know. Gate. Here in the proto-geometric period, yes. Cremation greatly predominates, and in the 9th century, it is the only form. Oh, interesting. This is cool. So, one of the reasons I copy these, by the way, is because eventually I would like to turn these notes into kind of like a study guide and have it like question. Oh, thanks, Sinwin. Unfortunately, you spelling it out doesn't help me because I don't know the emphasis on the right syllable. We need Greek Mike. Greek Mike is moving, so good job. I mean, congratulations for Greek Mike. The interpretation of the evidence is disputed, like everything else in education and science. Does the spread of cis tombs indicate the arrival of immigrants? Perhaps the Dorian migration? Very possible, as we were talking about the spread, right? Of religions. There is no clear correlation between the innovation of the areas, which are demonstrably Dorian. I'm learning so many vocabulary words, or remembering so many. I actually tried to study the dictionary once. No, I was made to study the dictionary once. It was terrible. But I'm remembering a lot of words reading this. Does it signal the rustification of society following the collapse of the Mycenaean kingship? With the single burial, the dead person is treated as more of an individual, though to be sure the burial place still proclaims the unity of the family. Noble families each have their own walled-off grave enclosure, but it is also possible to see the spread of cis tombs as the return to an earlier Middle Hellenic practice, which had continued alongside the stranded Mycenaean forms. Yes. To my recollection, why is my Astrid? Yes? You know I'm terrible with names. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I don't know. Tell me if I'm right. If that's yes, you are very knowledgeable. We have so many amazing, incredibly knowledgeable people on the server. I am so thrilled and honored. Oh, I love it. So start alongside the standard Mycenaean forms. I like these questions. These are great. We're just copying the entire book, but copying each of the sections separately because again, yeah, I think these are important and they can each be discussed and highlighted. The move to cremation has been interpreted in particular by Aaron Rode as a spiritual revolution in which the power of the dead was broken. Interesting. With the souls being banished from the realm of the living. I mean, if they got no body, they cannot come back, right? Mostly. And ethnologists. Yeah, I want to go with that. And archaeologists have become increasingly skeptical of this theory. Yeah. Inhumation and cremation are found side by side in the same place. Well, now I need to know what inhumation means. Inhumation. Oh, it's burying. It's why can't they just say burying? Oh, so you're not Astrid. Okay, my bad. I get people confused because there's so many names. And people have different names on different platforms. Wait, so when you get net, it just cuts. You are. Hey, Astrid! No, you are a divine gift to our server. You are also very knowledgeable. Is your name the same on the server? again, I apologize because everyone's names like can be different on different, and of course people could change them. So yay, we have both of you guys here. You're such knowledgeable people. Y'all should do this, not me. Inhumation and cremation. What did I sing? I forgot. Oh, that's right. I gotta pop back in that server and say hi to everybody. I really need to spend like 2 hours a week or something just going through all of the servers that I'm part of and just being like, hey, I'm still here. I love you guys. Thanks. So inhumation, which is burying, and cremation are found side by side in the same place. In Crete, they even appear together in the same grave. And accompanying, we're going to read on. In the accompanying ritual and the grave goods. In the accompanying, I think it's a separate thing. In the accompanying ritual and in the grave goods, no difference can be detected, nor is the purpose to destroy the corpse, for the bones are collected all the more piously and preserved in an urn. To explain the varying usage, we find ourselves thrown back on possible external factors, such as wood shortage. That makes total sense. I think we're in a wood shortage now. Or it's like, it's just really expensive now still. So that, I mean, I'm going to type this in here. Hold on. There we go. Such as wood shortage or simply unpredictable fashion, a change in religious belief can no more be invoked than the different. A change in religious belief can no more be invoked than a difference in tribe. What do we think of this, guys? Like, what's up? What do you think? Because this to me sounds like if you change religion, it doesn't matter because it's not going to be invoked. I'm gonna look up invoked because I feel like this is one of those the devil's in the details thing. Oh, okay. To cite or appeal to. Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna be buried, and the traditions of the tribe regard. Oh, that's terrible. Although to be fair, that's what my folks are doing right now. Can no more be invoked than a difference in tribe. So you're part of your family and your tribe no matter what you do. Is that what I'm getting from this? Is that what you guys are getting from this? Because I'm like, eh? But to be fair, I think we have more spread of various religions now, as opposed to back then, because it was very local, obviously. So I think that wouldn't have been a big deal. It wouldn't have been that big of a possibility to be introduced to a different religion, to be able to even switch to a different religion for like a long ass time. So I can totally see that being the standard practice. Just doesn't, some stuff doesn't just carry to like the modern day world. Okay. If you don't have one, take a drink. And also don't forget, we have channel points on Twitch that you can use. It's go in the bottom of your chat bar. And they're just for funsies. It's just you get points by hanging around. Okay. And by the way, we're supposed to have an ad. I meant to tell you that, Cinnamon, about every, I think, 30 minutes or an hour, something like that. So they're not too bad. But if they are too bad, y'all let me know and I'll just lower it. The strict separation of settlement and grave precinct goes together with the development of city life. The dead must be carried out, hence graves accumulate along the main routes out of the city. That's interesting. We don't have those anymore. They're just kind of, society has grown and we've had to move things. Karamikos. In Athens is a case in point. A burial in the city marketplace or even in the council chambers becomes the unique honorific exception. Of course. Funerals for infants are always an exception. Absolutely. The essential stations in the normal funerary ritual are thus the laying out of the corpse, vocab, prothesis, the carrying out, ekphora, the funeral proper with funerary sacrifices and funerary banquet, which are taken up as the basis of a continuing grave cult. Aster, do you want to come on the stream? It's not through Discord. I'm gonna have to send you an invite through Restream because my OBS was... I don't know what I did, Astrid. I fucked it up bad. I don't know how to undo it. Okay, no worries. No worries, I totally understand. Sometimes you are just burned out. I want to copy these out. This is very important. The honorific exceptions, as well as the process. And I love that we have words for every... I know we have words for everything, but we have like old words for every... That's so cool. There we are. So we want to cover the exceptions. I think it's also important to cover the exceptions, both honorifically as well as for children. I think that's very nice that there's a special difference. It's really sweet. The prothesis is already represented on late Mycenaean sarcophagi? I don't know. And then time and again on the large geometric grave vessels, washed out and dressed by women and with a fillet or wreath, wuna, about his head. Oh my god, it's sarcophagus. No, sarcophagi. Yeah. Thank you. Sometimes I make my life harder on myself. There's overcomplicating things. Yeah, derp, exactly. Derp. Wait, where's my... Wait. Clip that. Yes. I clipped it. So the last 30 seconds of the stream should now be a thing, which probably will include me saying that word in a terrible way. Sorry. Wreath around his head. The dead man is laid. I'm interested as to why they're using different words for the dead, like corpse and body, dead man. I don't know. Is laid out for viewing in his house, surrounded by the lamenting relatives. The lament, which is the duty of the woman to perform, is indispensable. I know what this is going to, and we have it in Armenian and like culture as well. And we're not doing it because it's nuts, but like, I know it's somehow. Okay. The lament, which it is the duty of the women to perform, is indispensable. It can be bought or it can be coerced. You can pay people to do this, or you can just, get the rest of the family on doing it. Wailing women from Carina could still be hired in Plato's time. It's literally women, could be family, could be paid, coming and like aggressively and like with great performance, just wailing and like crying and just like grieving excessively, basically to show that you were well loved and will be greatly missed. So it looks like that's where we're going. Let's see. Achilles ordered the captive Trojan women to lament for Patroclus, and Sparta complimented the... It's interesting because you read a lot of these words in your head, but like saying them out loud is, and Sparta compelled the subject Messenians to share in the mourning of the death of a king. The shrill... Oh yeah, this is totally it. The shrill cries are accompanied by tearing of hair. Here we go. Tearing of hair, beating of breasts, and scratching of cheeks. So like... I love this so much. The relatives defile themselves. They cut their hair. I'm not cutting my hair. Strew ashes on their heads. I might do that. No, I won't. It's terrible. It's bad for your hair. And wear filthy, torn clothing. So this is interesting. There's a lot of prestige and presentation in my culture and family that I am aware of. And so, like, you have to look really good. Like, you have to wear nice clothes and you have to, like, be done up, but, like, minimal makeup or, like, natural looking makeup. But, like, you have to look really well for the most part. Like, your eyes can be red, or, like, you can be crying and, like, oh my God, my little brother screamed when my grandma died. And I mean, to be fair, it was also his first death. This is, like, my second death, but only one that I've been, like, involved in. I was really young when other people died, so. So it's interesting. Yeah, you can hire professional criers. It's really weird and really funny. That's important. I love it. I just love the idea. I think it's the best. I mean, like, there's also a lot of people, like, I was really surprised. I thought more people were going to show up to the California viewing. But like, everyone who could show up, like, everyone I knew of did. It's great, but it's hilarious. This idea, because, you know, it seems like there's just so many things involved here in honoring and highlighting the importance of the dead. And I love that. So the whole house has fallen from the state of normality. Yes. The prothesis lasts a whole day. I forgot what that word meant already. Laying out the viewing lasts the whole day. So ours only lasted like 4 hours. I mean, kudos to the people that last all day. Then early in the morning on the third day, the carrying out ensues. How would they do that? That would be like, it's difficult back in the old days, I'd imagine. Noble families would employ a funeral wagon, as the geometric vase paintings also show. In the procession to the grave, I think I want to copy the one that says it lasts the whole day. In the procession to the grave, the deceased is again surrounded by numerous mourners and loud lamentations. Whatever. No. Where there is to be a cremation, the funeral pyre is erected near the burial place. It is the duty of the nearest relative, the son in particular, to gather the bones from among the ashes. Oh, that's so... break my heart. That's gotta be so hard. There we go. This is also important, like, because these things are so old, and it's great that we even have records of this, because so much has been lost. The funeral involves funerary sacrifices. From the standpoint of motivation and executions, these are of the last 3 different kinds. Okay. In the first place, the deceased received gifts as possessions befitting his station in life. The survivors thereby demonstrate their restraint in appropriating the goods that have fallen to them. Oh, so that's really nice. It's like, instead of, we're going to take everything, some of it belongs to the person who died, so let it go with them. I love that. And it's a good... Oh, don't we have a Delphic maxim for this? No. I think we do. I have to go check. We have a lot of Delphic maxims, so. But basically, like, don't be greedy, which is funny because I have the Ferengi rules of acquisition up in my bathroom, which very much encourage me to be greedy. In the first millennium, the quantity value of these gifts is relatively slight, in contrast to the treasures of the Mycenaean royal tombs. Earthen vessels, some containing food and drink, represent the minimal requirement. Through the symbolic function of gifts means that miniature vessels of no particular use may be substituted. Okay, so like, yeah, you can just give substitutions. That's really, you adapt to what you got. Men will often be given weapons, knives, or other trappings of their trade. Women are accorded jewelry, clothing, and distaffs. Don't know, but everyone take my jewelry. I've like literally already put that in a video. Okay. Let me just also put this in here. Delphic Maxim. Question mark. And distrifts. I don't know what that is. In chamber tombs, a chair and bed are often found. Following an introduction of coinage, the deceased is also presented with a small coin, which came to be known as the ferrying fee for Chiron. As from prehistoric times, the figures of various types are frequently placed in the grave. Interpretations, there we go, of these fluctuate from gods to demonic beings, servants, and toys. A portion of the gifts is buried along with the corpse on the funeral pyre. It's like my brain is reading ahead and substituting words. I swear to God. The ghost of Melissa, the wife of the tyrant Parad, whatever, expressly demands that her garments be buried in this way. But unburdened gifts are always buried in the grave. Unburned gifts are always buried in the graves as well. So like, for example, I know nowadays we do flower arrangements, which I am very against, but we did flower arrangements for my grandma. There were a couple that my parents got, and so afterwards we were like, what do we do with this? And it is, to my understanding, standard practice for the family to take all the shit with them, right? You know, don't leave it with the viewing. You take it and you do something with it. It goes with them, you know, whatever. So we actually have other relatives that are buried here in California, and we had 3 large wreaths. And so we were like, well, what do we do with these? And my dad was like, you know what? Let's put them with the other people. So we didn't bury it with my grandma, obviously, because she's not buried yet. But we took it to those who are buried, and you know, we can't disturb the grave, and that's probably also dumb. But you know, we took it and we did something similar, and I think that's a very standard practice, to take the flowers and put it on the grave at the funeral, or maybe to do something with it. So I mean, it's interesting to see how we've carried things, although adapted, we've carried things with us, right? Because not everyone could afford to have a tomb. Weapons and tools are broken. Oh, sorry, hold on. Went too far. In addition to grave offerings, there are destructive sacrifices. What is destructive sacrifices? Motivated by the helpless rage that accompanies grief. Yeah. Some people get very angry, and every emotion is valid. You're grieving. Motivated by the helpless rage which accompanies grief. If the loved one is dead, then all else must be destroyed as well. Weapons and tools are broken. Horses. Oh no! Dogs and horses. We don't condone this. And even servants, we do not condone this. And wife of the dead, we do not condone this. A dead man may be killed. Oh, we don't condone this. Oh, no. You can put toys in as representations, though. I put animal crackers in my offerings. So, like, I'll get a pig and I'll put it, and it's in place of, like, the animal sacrifice. We have ways to adapt old customs that are more acceptable, to be more acceptable in today, and also to not kill things that didn't. It's not fair, man. That sucks. Can you imagine being a grieving wife and be like, are they gonna kill me? Like, I don't know. It's terrible. That's why we don't include it in our notes, because at whatever, funeral pyre, Achilles slaughters sheep and cattle, 4 horses. Oh, I don't want to read this. And 12 captive Trojan. That's so mean and terrible. Ew. On Cyprus, the remains from sacrifices of horses in a chariot have been found in the demos of tombs from the Homeric age. Yeah, we don't need to do this. And it's also it's wasteful. It's wasteful is what it is. Now you want to go, like, for example, if you want to honor me when I die, let me tell you this. If you just want to throw a steak in there with me, like, I'm gonna be cool with it, because like, I love steak. I love steak so much. But I would rather prefer that you buy the steak for yourselves and cook it and eat it than like throwing it in with me. It's just wasteful. It's wasteful. And it's terrible to kill people. It wasn't their fault the person died. I mean, maybe it was if it was a war, but like still. Tombs from the Homeric age. Indeed, even human sacrifices have been you just said human sacrifice. We don't need that twice. We heard it. It's terrible. It makes our heart hurt. Blech. The slaughter of, I love this. The slaughter of animal victims. Here we go. That's what they are. They are victims. Abuse by death. The slaughter of animal victims at the grave site were standard. I don't think I could do that. It's a different time, man. Solon's laws forbade the sacrifice of an ox. So I think the ox is associated with Zeus. I can't remember. The grave is always a place for libations. We do that too. Sometimes the libation vessels were broken and left there. That's not gonna be the case, for example, for me, because my grandma didn't drink. So, but that makes total sense. And in fact, I remember many times in many animes where someone died and they were like, pour a drink out. I think that's very, very common even in today. I think it's a great idea. Maybe not a whole bottle. I don't know. I'm against wastefulness. Sometimes the libation vessels were broken and left there. Finally, no burial was complete without a funerary banquet. Yeah! Funerary banquets are the best. I don't know why I'm doing peace symbols, but I am. My hands do things without consulting me. Which again presupposes animal sacrifice. I'm terrible with these words. Even before the funeral pyres lit, Achilles let his companions feast the cheering burial. For which oxen, sheep, goats, and pigs are slaughtered, and everywhere about the dead man the blood flowed doesn't make sense to me. Everywhere about the dead man the blood flowed as could be drawn in cups. That did not make any sense to me. Destructive sacrifices and funerary banquets stand side by side. That sounds awesome. So go to what do they call those places now? I don't know. They have places where you can smash shit. Go do that. Their traces are not easy to discriminate archaeologically. In geometric times, food was cooked and eaten at the gravesite. That's awesome. It's like a last meal with them. Sweet. Sometimes animals... Oh, I made myself sad. Sometimes animals have been buried on the funeral pyre, but fire sites are also found besides the funeral pyre, with splintered bones from the feast. Later, the funerary banquet... Here we go. That's a good vocabulary. I'm gonna read it before I highlight. Later, the funerary banquet Peridaphnon? I don't know. This kind of okay. Sorry, I went on a brain thing trying to figure out how to say this. So this word here is very similar if we break it apart into like this. Okay. If we break the word up like this, does anyone else recognize this word? I'm gonna be wrong in about 5 seconds. Nope, I'm not. Okay, that is, does anyone recognize the word? I'm gonna keep reading. Let me know if you guys recognize the word or not. In spite of its name, is no longer celebrated around the deceased or around about the grave, but afterwards in the house. So this is a great example of how things, like, changed progressively. And I can also imagine this because you have weather issues, right? Not everyone lives in sunny California. Although we do have fires, so fair. There it is. But afterwards in the house, here the dead man is remembered with honor, but his presence is not indicated in any way. So we're not talking to dead people. We're just saying they were awesome. Very important because spirits and shit. Not always great. So, in the house. And where the dead man is remembered, but not indicated anyway. Where is that? I don't know. We'll find it later. Nevertheless, the deceased, duty provided for, is correspondingly often imagined at a banquet as the large group of so-called Totem Mall reliefs show. Totem Mall. We're just gonna put this. In the early period, the burial of an important figure was often followed by agon. As we know from the Iliad and other early poetry, as well as from the geometric grave vessels. Oh, it's actually... Yeah, I think I kind of remember it, actually. Rage and grief spend their fury, and the roles of the living are appointed anew. In particular, it was virtually only for such agons in the Bronze Age war chariot. I was reading it wrong. In particular, it was virtually only for such agons that the Bronze Age war chariot continued in use. So, good job on them for keep using. I don't know. Hesiod would recite his poems at the funeral games for the Amphidia, whatever. I haven't eaten dinner, so whatever. From the 17th century onwards, the games came to be centered on the hero cults of individual sanctuaries. And eventually, the funeral games gave way to the Pan-Hellenic games institutionalized around these cults. But agons are still celebrated to honor those who fell in battle at the Battle of Plataea, and the Hellenistic endowments still make provision for games to honor the hero-sized dead. I love that. By the way, something we're doing... Okay, so if you don't know, the Minecraft server got raided with Nazis. We hate it. It's awful. But there wasn't a lot of damage. And one thing that I wanted to institute into the server is a community grave. For relatives or, honoring ancestors, things like that. Where we can put, or you can put your person's name in the graves. I think... It's going to be super fun and super sweet and really nice. Okay, no one's replied. Guys! Gotta keep the chat going. Sorry, I should keep this up here. So, Davenon, this reminds me of Hecate's Davenon. I say it wrong all the time. Y'all know it. So, which is the day before Numenia, whatever. The first day of the month. So the last day of the month is Hecate's Davenon. So I wonder if we can find the roots of Peridaphnon. I know I'm probably saying it wrong. And see if there is a correlation in the meaning of the words. Wondering if it is something meaning like the I'm just gonna look it up. I'm just gonna Google it right now. We're gonna find out together. In Greek, Davenon, whatever, means the evening meal, usually the largest meal of the ancient Greek day. One of the famous examples from the ancient Greek sources is Hecate's Davenon, which is at its most basic, a religious offering meal given to the Titan Hecate. Hecate is a Titan. And the restless dead once a lunar month. Ancient Athenians held that once a lunar month, Hecate led the spirits of the unavenged or wrongfully killed, accompanied by hounds from the underworld up from Hades. It is also the last day of the month according to the lunar solar based Attic calendar, which is used in Athens. Okay, so there we go. It's the end. It's the last meal of the day. It's the last day of the month. It is, which is also a time for Hecate to take people to Hades or to the underworld or to wherever path they are going. And again, not necessarily Hecate, but we're getting this concept that is focused on Hellenic. So it does seem to mean like kind of the last. So I'm gonna look up the other word. I'm just gonna type it. So I think I'll copy this meaning in here. Hold on. You guys can all have it in the chat, and it can be in the log for also YouTube as well. Hopefully, I think that was a lot of text. Sorry, guys. Peoples. There we go. Just gonna put it in the notes, just like that. We'll clean it up later. We're also looking for editors to help clean up these notes. So if you are so inclined to serve the people in the community. Let me put this in here. I've heard the word agons before. We should put the word agons in here as a vocabulary so we don't forget. All right, so let's look up Perry Dave because I really want the definition. I feel like each of the chapters should come with a vocabulary section. Peridaphnon meaning? Oh, the peridaphnon was the funeral. It was just the funeral banquet. There's no further meaning from it. There's no etymology that I'm seeing here. But there may be more information that may involve a longer search, which we're not going to do here. Yes, editors who are looking to serve. I know I've been saying this for a long time, but there is going to be a document coming out. I imagine by the end of the year, so we can start 2023 off with a roaring start. And this is going to include a bunch of positions, all of which can be found in the positions section of the Discord, the positions channel. So if you're interested in helping out with anything, go check there. And also for anyone, if anyone wants to do an event, a craft, a reading thing, karaoke, I don't care. If you guys want to do something on the server because you think people would like it and you want to host it, all you gotta do is let the mods know, man. If you want to help out and you don't know how, and you're like, hey, I just want to help out somehow with some random ass shit, I'd be like, yeah, we got plenty of random stuff. Go like every single video. It really does help. We have tons of random little stuff that we need help with that I'm keeping on a freaking list. And of course, there's always just doing stuff in the Discord to, help the Discord keep running and conversations and posting resources and posting dumb, funny memes just to, keep the community fun and interesting and cool. So just hanging around is also helpful. But if you would like to serve as an editor, I would very much appreciate it. So on we go. I forgot where I was. Dawn of the Dead. The grave. Oops, too far. The grave is marked with a stone. The sign Sema. Ooh. We got it. I gotta. Yeah. This may be an unwrought stone, but relief whatever are already set up in the staff grave circle at Mycenae. From the roughly hewn oblong stones customary in the dark centuries, there develops from the 8th century onward the carefully worked grave stele. Now provided with an inscription and relief or painting. Actually, we have that. I have that. Not me personally. My grandfather. My grandfather's has an etching, like a laser engraving of him. And it's beautiful. And I love it. So that's another practice that has carried through the centuries. It's really interesting. It seems there are certain areas of life that were so important. It was viciously record kept, and again, obviously things that involving burying are well preserved, but it's it's very interesting how some areas have so much information and other areas have so little. And of course, death and burying being a part of literally everyone's life, of course. Um, I like, the next bit as well. The inscription records the name of the deceased. Obviously, we have that as well as the dates usually, and often with an epigram in verse form. Epigram? Yeah, that's another word. I don't know what that means. Vocabulary. I just copied and pasted into Google. It means a pithy saying or remark expressing an idea in a clever and amusing way. Clever and amusing way. Oh, I don't know if I know that one. A product of the advanced plastic art of the 6th century was a standing figure of a youth or woman as a grave monument. The relief stele attained its highest perfection in the Attic art of the 5th and 4th centuries. Even the simple stele may, to some extent, be treated as representative of the deceased. At the Festival of the Dead, the stele... We have a Festival of the Dead? What? What? We have our own Dias de los Muertos? This would be dope. Oh, it's Anasteria! Wait, when is that? That was recently, wasn't it? I don't remember. We gotta do that. We gotta think about that. I think that'd be a great community event. Let's all get sad. The Festival of the Dead. At the Festival of the Dead, the steles were washed, anointed, and wound with fillets. The tall vases, vessels, sorry, liquor, whatever. Lekios? Lekithoi? I'm terrible at these. Gotta have our vocabs. We're so often shown scenes of the grave and the afterworld served for libations of oil. The sign, however, may also be understood as a mysterious guardian of the dead person. Thus, lion and sphinx are found as grave markers. That's a great one. I love this. Also, we should put in what we're in them. That's kind of important because what is in and around the graves, right? Okay. The sign Sema proclaims the deceased to all in eternity. To care for the graves is the duty that falls on the descendants. In the first instance, the funerary sacrifices and funerary banquet are recapitulated at increasing intervals. On the 3rd day and on the 9th day, food is brought again to the grave. Then on the 13th day, a communal feast is held to mark the end of the mourning period. This is very cool. And of course, caring for the site of a grave, the grave site of a loved one is a very, I think, a very nice honor, a very nice way to honor them. And yeah, I think that says it all. Therefore, the honoring of the deceased is incorporated into general celebrations with which the city honors its dead every year. That's awesome. Days of the Dead, Nick, yeah, okay. Nikicia? I don't know. Or Days of the Forefathers, Genesia. One second. We are back. My partner came in and was like, you know how I know you're streaming? And I'm like, well, how? And he goes, my connection went to shit. Okay. On such days, the graves are adorned, offerings are made, special food is eaten. I wonder what special food. And it is said that the dead come up and go about the city. We literally have our own Day of the Dead. What? Super awesome. The offerings for the dead are pourings. I can't even. That's a lot of vowels. It is an important use of bandwidth. I agree. I scrolled too far. Nope, I scrolled up. Where was I? You know how we find it? We look for that word that was confusing. There. Oh, that's one. There we are. Found it. That's really, we literally have our own Day of the Dead. Ooh, barley broth. Here we go. Here are the sacrifices we were talking about. Special sacrifices. Not special not sacrifices, food. On such days, the offerings for the dead are pourings, whatever. Barley broth, milk, honey, frequently wine, especially oil, as well as the blood of sacrificed animals. There are also simple libations of water, which is why there is talk of the bath of the dead. So I will say that within Armenian culture, as I have heard, it may be no longer practiced. I'm pretty sure it's probably no longer practiced. But my mother told me, take that with a grain of salt, she's a narcissist, that my grandmother, when her grandmother died, when my mom's grandmother died, so my great-grandmother, who I was named after, died, my grandmother had, one of the things that was her duty was to bathe my great-grandmother and prepare her for the funeral. Obviously, that's something that I would say most places don't do anymore in the world. Usually, I imagine that's set to the funeral home. But it might still be a thing. And that's definitely where I'm thinking of, which is like why there is talk of the bath of the dead. I want to know more about this. We're going to find out. Bottomless funerary vessels or cylindrical stands may cylindrical stands may therefore mark the grave. As the libations seep into the earth, so it is beheaved. Contact with the dead is established and prayers can reach them. Oh, like a liquid telephone. I love it. That's hilarious. The sinking of the tubes into the earth may, in order to feed the buried corpse quite literally, is a rare offshoot of the funerary ritual. I like this. As the libations seep, that's really cool. That's very specific. Then there is the Energizian. I'm just clipping places where I like think I look dumb or funny. The consecration and burning of foods and sacrificial victims, again, not condoning in any way. But the living too have their feast. Indeed, it is thought it is through the meals of mortals ordained by custom. That's a nice phrase. The enjoyable fat steaming burnt offerings of the earth that the deceased receives his honor. That's really sweet. So they are honored by celebration of the mortals and offerings of love and caring, and what we think is what we can offer to them as celebration of not necessarily their worth, but how important they were to the people. That's it. How important they were to the people who are left behind. with what resources we have, of course. Put in the chat or in the comments, I should say, also, because it is going on YouTube, what you would like as a libation for your funeral, if that's not too morbid for you. I lost my place. There we are. From the time of Solomon, at least, the lawgivers in Greek cities always saw their tasks as one of reducing the expenditure on funerals. So important. Limits are set on the number of those who may defile themselves, on the number of participants in the funerary procession, on the types of sacrifices and grave monuments. Emotional excess and senseless waste are countered here by a degree of rationality. Yes. I clipped it, sorry. And at the same time, the claims of the polis are asserted against pretentious displays by powerful kin groups. The cult of the dead remains the foundation and expression of family identity. The honor accorded to forebears is expected from descendants. From the remembrance of the dead grows the will to continue. I love that. That's so nice. All right. Oh my god, I'm gonna say it again. The cult of the dead remains the foundation and expression of family identity. The honor accorded to forebears is expected from descendants. From the remembrance of the dead grows the will to continue. I love that. And it's perfect timing because it's 7:45. I'm streaming for like an hour and a half. I know we were supposed to get to afterlife mythology, but that's how book club goes, man. Sometimes we don't get through it. Sometimes I go on weird tangents. Next time, what we're going to try to do... Wait, let me check the calendar because we've got a lot of holidays coming up and I do not keep them all in my head at all. Next Friday, I will be at a funeral. I cannot do... So, the next stream... I'm sorry, I keep hitting the mic. The next stream will be on December 9th. I'm going to post that right now in the server before I forget. Okay. (12:09), and we will be covering chapter 4, section 2. I'm gonna copy this out in the chat here too for a second. Section 2, which is afterlife mythology. So, hi kitties. They heard mommy was going to be free and they wanted attention or food. So this is going to be great because I'm going to learn a lot of words because I don't know a lot of words, and eventually I will remember everything. So yeah. So next time we're going to be doing section 2 of chapter 4. We're in chapter 4. That's like this is a really dense text. So that's everything. Please remember to follow, like the video, do random comments on the YouTube if you follow there. Please follow there or subscribe, whatever it is now, and be looking forward for a video of explaining what's going to be going on in the year. Little early notification here. We are probably going to be doing a contest for the 2023 calendar, so keep an eye out for that on the announcements in the Discord channel as well. I think that's it. Tomorrow I am going to be gaming, and Next Saturday, Saturday the 3rd, I will still be dealing with funeral stuff, so I will not be able, I think, to be streaming for the gaming stream on Saturday. Next Saturday. Not tomorrow, next Saturday. And that's it. I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely weekend, and may the gods bless you on all of your journeys. That's what we're going to use. That's it. That's it. We figured it out. May the gods bless you on all your journeys. That's how we're going to end every stream from now on. Thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you in the Discord. Oh, I like that one too. Gods be with you, and may you be well. I'm literally going to copy these into notes because I will forget them. So, bye everyone. How do I stop this? I forgot. There we are.